about to dive into Ray Dalio's Investment Insights, a story brimming with wisdom drawn from the world of finance. Join Ray Dalio, the investment guru, and Emma Lee, his eager protege, as they navigate the complex tapestry of global markets. Expect to hear about resilience and innovation, with each scene offering profound lessons. Along the way, I'll guide you through any complex vocabulary or notable grammar choices with brief, clear explanations. This journey promises not just knowledge, but a pathway to personal growth and success in investing. Let's explore how seasoned expertise meets fresh ambition in the ever-evolving financial landscape. Ray Dalio sat in his study, a place of serene contemplation where the scent of aged leather mingled with the polish of old wood. The room exuded a timeless quality, a sanctuary from the frenetic pace of the outside world. The grandfather clock ticked steadily in the corner, its rhythmic cadence a counterpoint to the thoughts that swirled within his mind. Emma Lee, his protege, sat across from him, eagerly absorbing the insights that Ray shared. Her notebook lay open, pages ready to capture the wisdom gleaned from his decades of financial mastery. These sessions were sacred to Emma, a chance to delve into the pragmatic, meaning practical strategies that had propelled Ray to the pinnacles of success. Early in my career, Ray began, his voice imbued with a reflective quality, I faced more setbacks than I care to remember. There were moments when self-doubt crept in, and I questioned whether I could ever succeed. He paused, letting the weight of his words sink in, the gentle ticking of the clock punctuating the silence. Emma leaned forward, her eyes wide as she listened. She could sense the gravity of each principle, the hard-earned lessons born from failure. "What did you do during those times?" she asked, her voice steady despite the nervous anticipation she felt. "I learned resilience," Ray replied, his gaze steady. "Resilience and adaptability. You see, markets are much like ocean waves, ephemeral, meaning short-lived and always changing. If you can navigate these fluctuations, you can thrive." The soft rustle of papers accompanied his words, underscoring the significance of his advice. Emma nodded, her determination evident. She understood that this knowledge was invaluable, not just for the financial sphere, but for life itself. As the conversation continued, Ray delved deeper into the importance of understanding cycles and adapting strategies accordingly. Rarely had I seen inversion for emphasis, auxiliary plus subject plus past participle, a market that wasn't unpredictable, he explained. It's crucial to have a plan, yet be flexible enough to evolve it. Emma absorbed this, her mind racing to internalize each insight. What if she were to fail, subjunctive mood for hypotheticals, how would she recover? She wondered aloud, voicing the question that had lingered on the periphery of her thoughts. "Failure isn't the end," Ray reassured her, his tone both gentle and firm. "It's an opportunity to learn and adapt. The key is to remain vigilant, never complacent." The session ended with Emma feeling invigorated, the spark of resolve igniting within her. She left Ray's study with a newfound confidence, ready to apply these lessons to her own journey. Stepping outside, she was met by a salubrious breeze, meaning health-giving, that contrasted sharply with the warmth of Ray's study. The brisk air filled her lungs, a reminder of the world beyond those wooden walls, a world ripe with opportunity and challenge alike. As she walked away, the clock continued its steady ticking, marking time in a manner Ray knew all too well. The journey was just beginning, and with every step, Emma carried the wisdom of her mentor, ready to face whatever lay ahead. Emma stood amidst the bustling trading floor, the hum of computers and the chorus of traders, voices filling the air around her. The environment was alive, pulsing with energy, numbers flashing across screens like constellations in a digital sky. She felt the cacophony, meaning A harsh mixture of sounds, of market data envelop her, her heart racing with a blend of excitement and anxiety. Ray's wise words echoed in her mind, a calming mantra amid the chaos. He had always stressed the importance of maintaining composure, especially when the market grew unpredictable. "Stay calm," he had said. "In the face of chaos, clarity is your greatest ally." Suddenly, a precipitous, meaning steep market drop, sent shockwaves through the room, catching Emma off guard. She watched as the numbers dived, an unavoidable reminder of the market's volatile nature. Her pulse quickened. This was the moment Ray had prepared her for, but knowing and experiencing were two vastly different beasts. As her fingers hovered over the keyboard, a moment of hesitation gripped her. Self-doubt crept in, a familiar but unwelcome visitor. Never had she felt so challenged. Inversion for emphasis, auxiliary plus subject plus past participle. The decision she made now could ripple through her career, and the weight of that responsibility was daunting. In that moment of uncertainty, she remembered Ray's lesson on resilience. He had often spoken of asterisk tenacity, meaning persistence, as the key to overcoming obstacles. It was a lesson learned not just through words, but through witnessing his journey, his unwavering determination in the face of countless market fluctuations. With renewed resolve, Emma acted. Her fingers moved with a newfound confidence as she executed her decision, drawing from the well of knowledge and instinct she had cultivated under Ray's guidance. Yet, even as she moved forward, a shadow of uncertainty lingered in the corners of her mind. Had she made the right choice? Was her analysis sound? Emma's internal monologue revealed her deepest fears. Failing expectations, not just of Ray's, but her own. She had been contemplating this path for years, past perfect continuous for background, each step measured, each decision weighed. To stumble now would be a hit not just to her career, but to her sense of self-worth. And yet, beneath that fear lay an unwavering determination to succeed. Emma knew that every successful investor had faced similar crossroads, where doubt mingled with ambition. It was this very tension that forged strength, the crucible through which true mastery was achieved. As the market continued its erratic dance, Emma stood firm, her resolve a quiet testament to Ray's guidance and her own burgeoning expertise. The decision had been made, and though uncertainty lingered, it fueled her drive to learn, adapt, and grow. In the tumultuous world of finance, every moment was a lesson, every challenge an opportunity. Emma embraced this, knowing that her journey had only just begun. And as she took a breath and readied herself for the next wave of data, she couldn't shake the feeling that this was merely the beginning of something much larger. The trading floor buzzed on, oblivious to her personal struggles, but Emma felt something shift within her, a subtle hook pulling her into the future. Ray and Emma sat amidst the frenzy of the trading floor. The constant hum of rapid-fire conversations mixed with the clicking of countless keyboards created a symphony of modern commerce. Around them, screens flickered with streams of numbers and graphs, each line a potential fortune, each dip or peak a cautionary tale. Ray leaned slightly toward Emma, his voice steady and calming amidst the chaos. "The intricacies, meaning complexities, of this report aren't about the numbers alone," he said, pointing at the dense document before them. "It's about what lies beneath them." Emma nodded, trying to focus despite the cacophony around her. The smell of fresh coffee wafted through the air, momentarily comforting her amid the intensity. Still, she found the volume of information overwhelming. Her eyes darted over the pages, struggling to discern, meaning perceive, the valuable information hidden within a sea of data. Ray noticed the anxiety creeping into her expression. "It's easy to feel lost among all this," he reassured her, his tone a blend of wisdom and pragmatism. "But remember, it's not just about what you see, but how you interpret it." Emma took a deep breath, trying to calm the flutter of nerves in her chest. "What if I misinterpret something?" she asked, her voice tinged with uncertainty. Ray smiled gently. "Trust your judgment, Emma. Not only do you understand more than you think, inversion after negative adverbials, auxiliary plus subject plus base form, but your instincts are usually right." Despite his reassurances, Emma's doubt lingered. She had worked hard to get here, yet the fear of falling short loomed large. But as Ray continued to guide her, she began to see patterns emerge from the chaos. With each page turned, her initial hesitation morphed into concentration. After much deliberation, meaning consideration, she paused, her eyes lighting up with newfound clarity. She pointed to a section of the report. "This trend here, it's not just a fluctuation, is it?" Ray nodded, a glimmer of pride in his eyes. "Exactly. You've identified a potential shift. That's the kind of insight we're after." As the realization settled in, Emma felt a surge of confidence. She was starting to understand how to navigate the voluminous, meaning ample, information, discerning the signal from the noise. Ray's thoughts drifted momentarily to his serene, meaning peaceful, personal study, away from the hustle of the trading floor. He reflected on his early career, recalling his own moments of self-doubt. There had been times when he, too, had questioned his path. The parallel to Emma's journey was unmistakable, a vivid reminder of how far he had come and how essential these lessons were. Returning his focus to Emma, he leaned back, his expression one of quiet encouragement. "When I was starting out, I faced similar challenges. It's about resilience and the willingness to innovate in your approach." Emma absorbed his words, letting them bolster her rising confidence. She realized that the journey wasn't just about understanding the market, but about understanding herself. "So I need to be both flexible and firm in my strategies?" "Precisely," Ray affirmed. "And remember, the subtleties in this world often make the difference. It's an art as much as it is a science." With a newfound sense of purpose, Emma glanced back at the report, ready to dive deeper. She felt equipped to face the challenges ahead, her fears now tempered by the insights Ray had imparted. Ray watched her, a sense of satisfaction settling in. Not only was Emma learning to trust herself, but she was also beginning to see the market through a more discerning lens. As the day on the trading floor continued, the lessons lingered in the air, echoing the themes of financial wisdom and personal growth. Emma's journey was far from over, but she was on her way. And in the quiet moments, Ray knew that every piece of knowledge shared was another step toward success, for both of them. In the midst of their bustling environment, a subtle hook lay. The market's unpredictability was both a challenge and an invitation. Emma's eyes flickered with determination, ready to embrace it all. The trading floor was a cauldron of activity, a place where every whispered rumor could send a wave crashing through the financial world's calm surface. Amidst the cacophony, Emma Lee stood, a beacon of burgeoning confidence. Her strategies were incipient, still in the early stages of development, yet promising in their innovation. She felt the weight of expectation, but more importantly, she felt ready. Ray Dalio, her mentor, watched her from a distance, noting the lucid brilliance of her insights. It was as if she had taken the best of his teachings and melded them seamlessly with her own ideas. Her ability to distill complex concepts into actionable steps impressed him profoundly. A small smile played on his lips. He could see in her the makings of a true financial strategist. The atmosphere around them hummed with energy, a constant reminder of the stakes involved. Emma took a moment to breathe deeply, scanning the screens for patterns only she could see. This decision was pivotal. Despite years of tradition and conventional advice urging one direction, her instincts tugged her another way. She had to trust herself, even when everything else suggested caution. Later, in the quiet sanctuary of Ray's personal study, the world seemed to slow down. Sunlight streamed through large windows, casting gentle patterns on the floor, a stark contrast to the frenetic pace of the trading floor. They sat opposite each other, books and papers scattered between them, the spoils of their intellectual battles. Emma spoke with a clarity that surprised even herself. She articulated her strategy, explaining the nuances with a level of acumen that underscored her growing self-assurance. "I know it's a risk," she admitted, "but every fiber of my being tells me it's worth taking." Ray listened, his own journey flashing before his eyes. He heard echoes of his younger self in her words, the same fire, the same drive. His voice, imbued with pride, carried the weight of experience and the humility of one who had faced failure and emerged wiser. The greatest innovations, he mused, often come from defying the norm. Never before had I seen inversion after negative adverbials, auxiliary plus subject plus past participle, such potential in a single decision. They both understood the resilient nature of their partnership, built on mutual respect and trust. It was a bond that had grown stronger through shared challenges and triumphs. Emma had been pondering, past perfect, continuous for background, had plus been plus present participle, this moment for weeks, each scenario playing out in her mind like a well-rehearsed script. Ray's approval was the validation she needed, yet it was her own conviction that ultimately mattered most. As they concluded their discussion, the study's serene atmosphere wrapped around them like a comforting cloak. Ray placed a reassuring hand on Emma's shoulder. "Whatever happens, remember that belief in oneself is the first step to greatness," he said, his eyes twinkling with a mix of wisdom and warmth. Emma nodded, absorbing his words. She was on the brink of a new chapter, her path illuminated by the lessons she had learned. With a final glance at Ray, she felt an invigorating sense of possibility unfurl within her. There was still much to prove, but she was ready to seize the moment. The two of them sat in companionable silence, each lost in thought, yet unified in purpose. The world outside continued its relentless rhythm, but within the walls of Ray's study, a quiet determination reigned. Emma knew this was just the beginning, and she was eager to embrace whatever came next. Thanks for tuning in to the English Frequency Podcast. We're glad to be part of your English learning journey, from beginner to advanced. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe, share, and leave a review. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and see you in the next episode.